Hi, I'm Dr. Sia, and here on the Dr. Sia channel, one construct that we're often going to be talking about is defense mechanisms. Now, defense mechanisms are really integral and important part of a therapy called intensive short-term dynamic psychotherapy, or ISTDP. I have lots of videos here on the channel already showing you how you do that work, but also I have some videos breaking down what ISTDP really is. So if you're interested in learning more about ISTDP, go ahead and look at one of those videos. But for this video, we're going to look at defense mechanisms. What are they? When do we use them? And how do they cause problems for us? Now, we all have defense mechanisms. Doesn't matter if you're a psychotherapist, if you're a person who's extremely and highly educated, or if you're not as educated, if you're aware of it or whether you're not, defense mechanisms are a big part of all of our lives. Sometimes, though, they can cause a problem. So, what are they? Well, defense mechanisms are just simply a mechanism within us that makes us feel less so that we don't get too anxious about what our feelings mean to us. So, for example, you might feel really angry, and then you might have the thought, oh, I really just want to punch someone. And then now you might start getting anxious because you might believe that you would actually punch someone. So a defense mechanism comes up to reduce your anger, and then you're not going to think that you're as likely to punch someone in the face, and you feel momentarily more in control. Now, one of the biggest problems is that when defense mechanisms are happening outside of our awareness, when we don't know what's going on and automatically all this pushing down happens, we might start feeling ill over the long term. So while some of these defense mechanisms might be healthy and helpful in some situations, if we're not aware that they're happening over the long term, we might actually develop some problems. So let me help you understand by giving an example. Let's use the defense mechanism intellectualizing. So remember, all defense mechanisms are there to do is to reduce feelings. So the defense mechanism intellectualizing reduces feelings by making you, for example, look at the logic of things, the logical side of an emotional experience. Say, for example, that you're really upset. You just lost the job of your dreams. You were about to get it. You went into the interview. Something happened. You weren't on top of your game. You didn't get the job. You go to your really good friend and you say to them, hey, I didn't get the job and I'm so sad about it. This was the job of my dreams. I've been waiting a whole year for this opportunity to come up and I'm just so sad. Your friend then says, well, there are a lot of jobs. Now, look, whether or not that might be true, in that moment, what you were asking for was for your friend to be sad with you, to feel your pain, to be there with you in that moment. But in this hypothetical case, your friend couldn't deal with the feelings of that sadness. So they quickly pushed that sadness away by thinking, well, maybe there are more jobs. And there's a disconnection between you and your friend. Now, that's just an example of when it happens automatically. Now, imagine for this friend of yours, if this automatic intellectualization is happening in a lot of situations. Not just a situation where they're meant to be sad, but maybe a situation where they're meant to be happy. Maybe a situation where they're meant to be excited. Maybe for them, this perception of thinking about the rational and logical of it all keeps them in this illusionary control. So they always seem like they know what they're talking about, but they never really seem connected to anybody. It's like if 5 people are really joyous about something happening, they might go, oh yeah, this is really great. It's the most amazing thing ever. They might be on the side going, well, it's not the most amazing thing ever. You can see over time, there might start being a little bit of a negative tone around it. And so the person might start intellectualizing even more and more and more, and it can get frustrating to people around them, and eventually they might find themselves pretty bored in life, isolated, and not really getting what they want to get out of it. Worst case scenario, they might even start feeling depressed. So you can see a defense mechanism is just one thing that we have inside us that helps us reduce feelings. Sometimes, rare cases, they can be useful, but often they cause problems. So the good thing here is, though, that if we can become aware of these defense mechanisms, we can know what to do about them, and we can find healthier and more helpful ways of dealing with our anxiety about having feelings. For example, say that this same friend of yours becomes aware that they intellectualize, then they can do is they can say, okay, I'm not going to intellectualize and I'm going to allow myself to feel my feelings and maybe even share that I'm getting a bit anxious and awkward about that. So, for example, same situation, you say to your friend, hey, I lost my job and I'm really sad about it. Then your friend, knowing that they're about to intellectualize, might say, hey, oh, I was just about to intellectualize there, but obviously this is a really sad moment for you. And what you want is for me to be there with you. Okay, I'm going to be there with you. And you can see immediately there'd be more genuineness between you. The two of you would be more connected. And for you, you might even find that it's really interesting and really helpful to see that your friend is making sure that they're there for you, even though something wants to say, don't be, don't be. Now, look, that's just one example, and it might not be the best example in the world. I'm keen to hear if you have better examples of how intellectualizing can affect a person's life. Of course, there are a lot of videos I have here where we work on defense mechanisms like intellectualizing, projection, and lots of many more. And I'll put up more videos on the other defense mechanisms as well. But if you want to see me put up a video about a particular defense mechanism, put a comment, just let me know and I'll make one as soon as I can. As per usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, go ahead. No, I always do this thing at the end where I wait for you to actually click the button. I'm very patient and polite. So just take your time there. Y'all go on ahead. Just gonna wait here a little bit. Did you do it yet? We're coming up dependent. Did you do it yet? I'm waiting. I'm waiting. See you next time.